What are some things that anybody should keep in their mind before even they start creating?
Take some time, sit down, and think of what is the transformation that I have gone through in my life. So, the first thing is to know your leverage. Your leverage is your samarthya. You know what is the biggest mistake that everyone does? All the coaches.
What are the basic things that one needs to invest when they are going out into the digital world? And
You can reach like hundreds of thousands of followers.
how can they make content that will also have, it should look aesthetically also good?
I can just tell you one thing: go for reels, forget about everything else on Instagram. If you are finding it difficult to find your story and present your story to the world, this is the place to come.
So 2 years ago, I think I used to run away from many coaches because they always used to tell me niche out.
Regardless of which industry you are from, which niche you are from, it does not matter because human behavior does not change. That is how the approach should be. And when you build your reputation by giving a lot of value, you stop selling, your customers start selling themselves to you.
Hello and welcome to all of you. I am Suchita Sanjay, the host for the podcast show Happy Minds and Abundant Lives. May being the Mental Health Awareness Month, I'm sure it has to be on a top priority for everybody. The world's graph is just going higher when it comes to mental health illness, and people are finding it very difficult to even reach out. It is because of the gap that is there between the therapists, coaches, or healers and the people who are seeking it. And the gap is widening because of lack of visibility. And it all happens because many of the coaches, healers, and therapists are clueless as to how they should present themselves or how to go on social media. I myself was struggling with all this 5 years ago when I qualified as a clinical hypnotherapist. The most averse thing that I was for digital presence. I hated going on social media. In fact, I would never even post any picture of mine. So that was the state I was in. And one of my coaches asked me, like, is your purpose greater than your limitations? So that is when I realized I have to step out of my comfort zone. And yes, so I went from the journey where I had people asking, oh, I didn't even know that you were a clinical hypnotherapist, to telling, you know what, I found you on Instagram and I'm so glad I found you. So the journey has been a very profound one and I learned a lot and I'm still learning. So today we are going to dive deep on content creation with the expert Prathamesh, who is an award-winning filmmaker, a business magnate, and a consultant. I don't know, he has many things in his cap, and he's also a content creator. He helps people to create magnetic content so that they can bring value not only for others but to themselves and thereby monetize on it. So welcome to you, Prathamesh. I'm so happy that you're here today with us.
Hi, Suchita. Thank you for having me here. It is an honor.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So my first question to you is, Prathamesh, many coaches and therapists or healers, they have their own struggles. Their social media presence is not there because of maybe mindset or fear. So what do you think they should do to overcome this particular limitation?
Now, the reason most healers and people who want to help other people are not able to come on camera is because there can be a few reasons. First is self-doubt, because they doubt themselves. They don't feel that they will be able to help through content. The other is imposter syndrome, which is feeling that who am I to say this to people. The other problem could be feeling too conscious about yourself when you're on camera, right? So there are different reasons and there are different solutions for all the different reasons. But one thing I would say for everyone who wants to create content is you just have to turn on your selfie camera and start speaking. You don't have to publish. Okay. Give yourself a challenge of 21 days or 30 days. Get on camera and start speaking. I will guarantee you by the day 30 or by day 21, you will be so comfortable with your camera that you'll feel that it's your friend. Okay, you will not feel very conscious about it, and you will not feel all this imposter syndrome or anything like that. So the like whatever your reasons are, it could be self doubt, it could be imposter syndrome, it could be I'm very conscious on camera. You will never know what that problem is until you start. Okay, so the first is be very clear that you really want to help people, and if you want to, and I like what your coach said, right? What is more important, your purpose or your limitations, right? If your purpose is more important than your limitations, then you should just start doing it.
Mm.
It's a perfect answer. I don't have to add anything to that.
So I think even fear of judgment overpowers people at times. So how do you think that they could overcome this part?
Fear of judgment, judgment from whom? Are you going
Like,
to meet them?
yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you the first thing. When you start creating content, trust me, nobody's going to watch it. If nobody is going to watch it, how will they judge? I have seen so many creators, like people who start creating content, they have like 50 impressions, 100 impressions on their post. Now, if it's not reaching to a lot of people, how will they even judge it? Because they don't even know you exist. The problem is we take ourselves too seriously. That's the whole issue.
Mm.
Don't take yourself seriously. Whatever you are saying, just say it. If you, whenever you are speaking with your clients, if you're a healer or a consultant or a coach, you're speaking with the client, and if the client is getting some value out of it, all you have to do is say the same stuff on camera. And why do you think people will not find value in that? That's the first thing.
Mm.
The second is, even if you do that, making videos, creating content is a skill that you develop by practice. And the good thing is, the algorithms are designed in such a way that it will only show to more and more people when you start getting better and better at doing it.
Mm.
So it's a win win, right? If you're not doing a great job with your video, it will not reach a lot of people and nobody will judge you because they won't even see that video. And if
Mm.
you're doing a great job and people like it will show to more people and you're still winning, right? Because now your algorithms are designed to show videos, only those videos that people like.
Yeah.
So just something that does not exist. Like, how will you be judged when people don't know that video exists?
Mm.
You know how many videos I have on the internet and how many have flopped.
Mm.
You may have not even seen them, right? So it's okay. It's not a big deal.
Mm. So what are some things that anybody should keep in their mind before even they start creating their own videos or content?
Okay. The first thing that you have to think of, this is the most important, and I have not seen anyone think of this, is what is your leverage?
Mm.
Okay. Most coaches, experts, healers don't think of what are their own strengths, what's their own story. Before telling the story to the world or before telling people about transforming themselves, take some time, sit down, and think of what is the transformation that I have gone through in my life.
Mm.
Okay. That's very important because that's the first proof of result, your own life. And you need to be very clear about what that was. Who were you before and who have you become now? Because that's your main audience. You, a couple of years ago, before you got the transformation, is your audience
Mm.
as a healer, as an expert, as a consultant, as a coach.
Mm.
But unfortunately, when you get the transformation and when you reach that state where you have completely transformed yourself, you forget about who you were and you forget about everything that you learned in the process
Mm.
and all the journey that you had. So the first thing is to know your leverage. Your leverage is your samarthya. Okay. All the good things, all the skills you have developed, the abilities you have, the knowledge you have, the struggles that you have gone through, how you have overcome. How will you have empathy for people when you don't know how that struggle feels like? And when you don't have the empathy, how will you be an effective coach or a healer? Right.
Mm. Yeah.
So the first step is to know your leverage. Sit down, take some thinking time out, and look at your story. And this has to be a heroic story. If your story is not heroic, then when you start creating content, it becomes the imposter syndrome kicks in, like self judgment. Like, what if people judge me? And oh my god, I'm not sure if this is making sense. All these kind of excuses start coming to you because Your own story in your mind is not a heroic story
Yeah.
because we never gave it time to articulate our own story.
Mm.
So the first thing you have to do is, what's my story? Is it heroic?
Mm.
And it is. If you have any kind of transformation in life, and the fact that you have become a healer by this point, or a
Mm.
coach or a consultant, that means you yourself have gone through some kind of a transformation. And what is that? What is that story like? You have to be able to tell that story to the world. In
Mm.
fact, I would say make that as your first video. What's
Okay.
your story? Make that as your first video. Okay. Once you know that, once you figure out what's your leverage, the next question you should ask yourself about, who do I really care about?
Mm.
Okay. Now I know my strengths. I know my hero's journey. Okay. This knowledge that I have can help everyone. You know what is the biggest mistake that everyone does? All the coaches, they say,
Yes.
whatever I know is for everyone. True, everyone will benefit from it. But is
Mm.
everyone going to come? They're not.
They're not. Yeah.
You come from a certain culture, you speak in a certain way, you have certain ideas, you have a certain kind of vocabulary and a language, you
Mm.
have certain kind of the way you speak, the way you deliver your language. It's not going to resonate with every single person.
Mm.
It's going to resonate with a very specific kind of person.
Yeah.
But the problem is you're speaking to everyone when you're creating content, and
Mm.
that is ruining your power in the content because you don't know who is it that you're speaking to. You know, when I'm speaking to you, what's happening? I
Mhm.
have you in front of my mind, and we have had this conversation so many times, so I know you very well, and I
Yeah.
know where you are coming from, and it gets way easier for me to know the context from which I should be speaking, right? And that's why my conversation and my whatever I say, the value I give becomes effective. It works for you, it gives results to you.
Mm.
Okay. So the second question is, who do I really care about? Because if I don't care about them, I won't stick to it and keep doing and keep creating content for a long period of time. You know who I care about? I care about creators who really want to create an impact in the
Mm.
world. Good, like positive impact in the world. I really care about those creators. So does that include all the entertainment based creators? No. I'm not serving them because I don't care about it. It's not like I'm careless or I don't care, but it's not something I really feel for. I
Mm.
feel for people like you who are creating a positive impact, right? And I want to make sure that you reach out to more and more people and create that more and more impact. And because I care about you so much, it's been 1.5 years. I've been constantly creating content. We have a community. We constantly kind of help people out in the community. I give my time to give feedback to each one of you free of cost,
Yeah.
right? Why? Because I care for you. It's not because otherwise I will get exhausted. Most coaches, healers, consultants get exhausted because they are attracting all the wrong kind of people. Why? Because they are serving people they don't even care about, and it
Mm.
gets exhausting.
Yeah.
And you're like, what am I doing with my life?
Mm.
So that is the second. If you serve people you care about, you get more energy. If you serve people you don't care about, you start getting exhausted.
Mm.
Okay. The third question that you should ask your people or yourself is, okay, what is the crisis that my audience is going through that I care about?
Mm.
Okay. That really hurts me. Like looking at them in this situation really hurts me. I really don't want my audience to be in this situation. For me, I don't want my creators to be in a state of confusion, self doubt, lonely, isolated, trying to create but don't know what to create, creating stuff but not getting results,
Mm.
right? People are kind of, maybe sometimes you are also getting good views, but nobody is buying from me. Maybe they are buying, but they are not getting any results or transformation through my products or my programs or my coaching. This is all the different kinds of crisis that my audience is going through, and it really pains me because I see they are very genuine people. They really want to help.
Mm.
They are not just driven by money. They are like, I want to make money. I also want to make a good impact in the world, and I also want to be happy while doing it and not get exhausted while doing it.
Mm.
And I see them and I see they are burnt out. They're completely kind of helping everyone. Their lives are getting better, but these guys are getting exhausted.
Mm.
Okay. I don't like that. It really hurts me to see this. This is the crisis that my audience is in, which is they have the ability to help people, but they don't know how to do it in a way that does not exhaust them. Do it in a way that gives them more energy. They don't
Mm.
know that, right? That is
Yeah.
the crisis that they are in. So that's the next question. Like, what is the crisis that my audience is in? I have to know that. I have to be able to give words to it. Like everything I told you right now,
Yeah.
it has taken some thinking time. It has taken some time for me to sit down and articulate and contemplate on this question.
Mhm.
Why do you need that? Because see, our mind is very interesting. Whenever you go to any relative or any brother or sister or someone who is close to your best friend and tell them the problem that you have, all of a sudden they will start giving you the solutions, even if you don't ask for it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's human nature. You have to use it to your advantage. How do you use it? By looking at what the problem is in your audience's life. So when I am meditating on my crisis, on my audience's crisis, what am I doing? I'm letting my brain know this is the problem you're supposed to be solving. So even if you don't have a solution for certain problems as a healer, it's okay.
Mm.
Most of the times, a healer will only stick to the problems they can solve. Even if there are problems that hurt them and they care about even more deeply. And they'll say, "No, I can't solve this problem because I don't know how to do it." No, that's not that. Then you are not an expert. Then go and learn more, right?
Absolutely.
If you're really an expert, if you're really someone who cares about people and you can figure out solutions even when you don't have that solution,
Mm.
then this is the right approach for you. Otherwise, this approach, like no other approach, will work anyways.
Mm.
So when you meditate on the crisis, you give your brain some food for thought
Mm.
so that your brain starts coming up with solution for this person who is in crisis.
Yeah.
Okay, that is step three. What is step one? Step one is what's my leverage.
Yeah.
Step two is who do I really care about. Step three, what is the crisis they are in.
Yeah.
Step four is what is the crown state. What is the crown state? What do I mean by that?
Mhm.
What is the ultimate future that I would like them to live
Mm.
by going through a journey with me?
Mm.
Okay, when they come on a journey with me as a coach, what is this beautiful future they would like to live with? Now, this problem again is coaches will say आगे वाला का जो प्रॉब्लम है उसके हिसाब से मैं सॉल्व कर दूंगा विच इज वट एवर द प्रॉब्लम इज there with the other person, I will solve that. If it's a health problem, I'll solve it. If it's a relationship problem, I'll solve it. If it's a finance problem, I'll solve it. That doesn't help. You cannot build something useful, important, if you're trying to change the goal based on the client in front of you.
Mm.
And you're attracting all kinds. So every single client will go through a very different journey
Mm.
because their crisis is different and their crown is different, right? So you have to decide what is the crown, and it has to be a single crown. Like this is how my ultimate customer looks like.
Mm.
A successful customer who has gone through a successful journey with me and they have reached this position. Okay.
Okay.
If you don't have this clarity of what this beautiful future for your customer looks like, what are you even promising them? Right? It's
Yeah.
just like, okay, I'm in pain. Okay, I'll help you kill your pain. That's all. But how inspiring is that?
Mm.
They will only stick with you as long as they are in pain. Do you want to keep serving people who are just in pain all the time and crying all the time? Or do you want people who want to go beyond just killing their pain?
Mm.
Right. You want customers who will not just get rid of the pain that they are in, whatever that pain is or crisis in, but you want them to thrive, right? Like
Yeah.
go 10 miles beyond where they have even imagined. And
Absolutely.
that is what will make you a legendary coach, right? Like if you want to be an average coach, then yeah, of course, go
Yeah.
ahead, be average coach. Don't worry about the future of your customers. If you want to be someone really kind of high impact, think of the future. Think of that ultimate future. Okay. That's the fourth question, which is what is the crown state? Once you have this, I think you have most of the clarity you need to start off with your journey as a content creator.
Mhm. So, thinking time is absolutely necessary to have all of these 4 points
Yes, I would say
in
thinking and feeling time.
feeling time. Yeah.
Yeah, because again, you will fall into this trap of overthinking. When you think of your crisis, okay, this is the crisis, this is the crisis, but do you feel for it?
Mm,
Does it really feel for you? Like, does it touch you? Does that crisis really touch you? So don't intellectualize this. This is not an intellectual exercise. This is a feeling exercise. You have to feel it.
mm,
You have to feel like when you look at your customers in the crisis, you have to feel really, really sad.
mm,
Like, like I really want to help them. That is what you should feel like. And when you see them in this state of crown, you should feel extremely happy just looking at their success. If you're not that kind of a person, don't even be a coach.
mm,
If you
mm.
can't be happy with other people's success,
Yeah.
right?
So,
So be that person, like have that feeling, like give feeling time, not just thinking time.
mhm. This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
very profound. I think the audience should start taking a notebook and pen and start noting because there's a lot of, value content that you're getting here. So if not,
yeah.
you're not able to note now, at least make sure that you watch the video again so that you will be able to make the points and get to the goal that you desire. So my next question to you is, what are the basic things that one needs to invest when they are going out into the digital world and, you know, uh,
Hmm.
giving their content
You mean technically, right? Technical
technically?
stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, very, very simple. If you have a smartphone, that's
Mm-hmm.
good enough. Okay.
Okay.
Um, get a decent mic. Mic is the only thing I ask you to invest in because I have seen some amazing folks creating amazing content with extremely bad sound and nobody watches it.
Mm.
So invest in a lapel mic. A lapel mic could be a wired or wireless. If it is a wired, then there's this mic called as Boya, which is pretty affordable. Buy that for your phone. It is a wired mic. It will connect to your phone. Or if it is wireless, then you can go for Grenaro. Grenaro is a good brand.
Mm-hmm.
J13 is the model. That's the one that I have right now. I have both wired and wireless. Depending on the situation, I use it. I have actually, like at this mic, this is Yeti podcast mic. I have invested a few, literally of like 1 to 1.5 lakh just in different kinds of mics. That's how much I love mics.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and for video, I just use my phone. That's all,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, mic is very important. Sound is very important.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to edit your videos, you can use InShot app for editing.
Mm-hmm.
If you like speaking for long form, like if you have this long form video where you're speaking for 10 minutes for YouTube, get a tripod so that you can keep the camera properly
Mm-hmm.
and try to shoot outdoors. So you don't have to worry about outdoors in nature, basically. When I say outdoors, I don't mean in your parking lot. I
Mm-hmm.
mean in the outdoors with beautiful nature and stuff, if you have access to it, so that you don't have to worry about creating like a setup like this in the initial days. Even when I created, if you look at one of some of my few videos in the beginning, I used to go down in the garden and just make a video. No setup, nothing. Just a tripod, my phone, a mic, and that's all.
Mm-hmm.
And you can reach like hundreds of thousands of followers and at least a few crores in revenue just by this setup. You don't need more than that,
Yeah.
especially when you're a coach. You don't
Mm-hmm.
need more than this.
So, and how can they make content that will also have, it should look aesthetically also good. So, how can they
Hmm.
make their content look
First
aesthetically?
is Yeah. So what are the elements of aesthetics inside a frame? Let's say if this is the frame, right? What are the elements of aesthetics? One is you yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? The clothes you're wearing, what you're wearing, how you're presenting yourself, your body language, the way you speak, the way you're grooming yourself. All of that is aesthetics related to you. And then there is a background,
Mm-hmm.
right? The
Yeah.
background is the second element of your aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, to make it look aesthetic, in the early days without putting a lot of efforts. Go in nature, and nature, nothing is more aesthetic than nature.
Yeah.
Just go outdoors and do it. Also, when you shoot outdoors, your energy is very different. The way you speak is very different.
Mm. Yeah.
So just go outdoors and speak. And in terms of your own, the way you carry, right? If you
Hmm.
are someone who is teaching yoga, someone who is teaching all the Indian ways of healing, right?
Hmm.
Eastern ways of healing, then dress like that. Dress like a yogi,
Hmm.
I would say. Don't dress like in Western clothes and do it. I think it really works much better when you dress like the role that you're playing. It's a role that you're playing as a coach, right?
Yeah.
So dress like that. However, you are like you present very well, like in terms of how you present yourself as a hypnotherapist and RTT therapist. I mean, it suits you, right? It's very well. And the pearl necklace that you have, and like, or the bead necklace, right? And the way
Yeah.
you dress and the way you groom yourself, everything is like it suits you. So it's that is what aesthetic is. Aesthetic is like it's not like there's no formula to it. It's
Hmm.
just look like the role you're playing.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is very important. I think it's a very important thing to note also. So,
Yeah.
what kind of content really connects with people who are looking forward for support? Should the content creator have in mind the storytelling format, or narrate some true real life incidences, or should it be just the carousels which pass and there's a client testimonial? Because I know many people are not ready to still go in front of camera, but they do have certain content. So is it okay to have those carousel styles of content which ultimately leads to the call to action?
Yeah, I'll tell you how to think of in the early days when you don't have any follower, how to think of what to choose in terms of the type of content, the format, right?
Hmm.
You have options like Instagram posts,
Mhm.
carousels, and then you
Yeah.
have reels. In
Mhm.
terms of YouTube, you have shorts and long form. Okay. It's very simple. How do people discover on Instagram? How do people discover new users on Instagram?
Hmm.
They don't discover through your stories, they don't discover through your post or carousel. There is only one mechanism, and that is reels.
Okay.
You cannot discover a new user through posts and all the other places. The second
Hmm.
thing is there is something called as inventory. Okay, placement inventory.
Mhm.
When you go on, look, observe your own behavior. When you go on Instagram and think of the duration of time you spend on reels versus stories versus post versus carousel. What is your division of time across all these placements? These are called as placements. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if chances are your highest amount of duration is on the reels, that means the inventory, the placement inventory for reels is the highest on the internet, on that platform,
Mhm.
on Instagram, let's say, which means you're more likely to be plus reels is a mechanism of discovery, which means even if I don't follow you, I can still see your reel if
Hmm.
Instagram suggests that reel to me.
Okay.
Okay. Now, why am I explaining all of this? I can just tell you one thing: go for reels, forget about everything else on Instagram.
Hmm.
Don't go for any other thing. Just because it's convenient to you does not mean it will give you results.
Hmm.
Okay, do what works, don't do what is convenient.
Hmm.
It will become convenient when you practice it.
Yeah.
When you practice making reels, it will be convenient. Now, the second question is you're not comfortable going on camera. That's fine. I'll give you an idea. Shoot yourself doing certain activities and common actions,
Hmm.
okay, and then use your voiceover and show
Hmm.
your video in this B roll. This is called as B roll, right? So there is a footage of you doing certain things, and there
Hmm.
is a story in the background with your voiceover.
Hmm.
See, there is either efforts in being on camera and learning how to speak to camera in a comfortable way, or put efforts in shooting the B rolls, the footages that you
Hmm.
can use and compile with a voiceover and a great story.
Wow.
Okay,
So I
so
will ease
tell
out
you a
more.
process.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the process for the B roll thing is very simple. You first write the script or whatever you want to say. Okay, once you write the script, you're going to read it out because it's a voiceover, and figure out at every single sentence what is the footage that I would like to show to people. and then shoot all those footages. Get a help of someone or do it by yourself. Get a tripod and start shooting it. Okay. And make it like a vlog or something with a voiceover in the background.
Mm.
All right. That is one approach. The other approach is if you want to speak on camera, just turn on your selfie camera and start speaking with the camera and take it as many take sometimes I have to take 5 to 10 retakes when I'm not in that zone and I
Mm.
really need to get in the zone. I have to take 5 to 10 retakes. Only then I get into that flow
Mm.
and then the video comes out great. I personally don't like the idea of scripting
Mm.
because I feel that if I don't understand something deeply, there's no point in speaking about it.
Mm.
If I cannot speak about something without a script, then there's no fun in speaking because all this voice modulation, this the hand movements and the expressions on my face, they don't come out if it is too scripted. So
Yeah.
I do write the script though. But why do I write the script? To understand what I'm saying,
Mm.
to really get a good understanding of my ideas, articulate my ideas really well. That is why I write. But once I write it, I scrap it and then I just speak whatever comes to my mind.
Mm.
Okay. And whatever I've written, it's like only 50% is covered. The rest of the 50% is completely new that I'm speaking on camera. It does
Yeah.
not match. So yeah,
So,
if you're really like feeling uncomfortable coming on camera, do this other approach. Okay. And just either go with reels or go with long form videos, YouTube videos. These are the two options which will give you good revenue. Even YouTube shorts will not give enough, revenues for you
mm.
because of certain ways that YouTube is designed. I won't get into the details, but go for long form YouTube videos or go for reels.
Okay.
Forget about every single placement on the internet. If you're in India, if you're out of India, TikTok is another option for you.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
TikTok is not there right now in India. Is that what you're saying? I'm not aware of it.
No, it is banned in India. Yeah,
It is.
TikTok is banned. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, is it important to have a niche? Because most of the therapists, coaches, and healers are pushed into having a niche, although they have the capacity to
That,
resolve many issues. And
hmm.
is it a myth to debunk, or is it something that they should really have as a
It's
niche?
definitely a myth to debunk. That's a brilliant question, Suchita. And I have this sutra around this. Don't
Mhm.
choose a niche, choose a narrative.
Wow. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, this idea of choosing a niche
Mm-hmm.
is very Western.
Mm.
Okay, why? Because why are you asked to choose? Okay, again, there are two definitions of a niche. Okay, one definition, one school of thought is it is the topic that you are talking about. If that is what you mean by niche, then it's okay, but not very effective.
Yeah.
Okay, the other niche is the identity of people that you are targeting, like who part.
Mm.
Like one is the what of the niche, the other is the who of the niche. Who of the niche is very effective.
Mm.
It is like, okay, I'm targeting creators, I'm targeting, let's say, diabetic patients. It's very clear. I know exactly how to target them. Okay. But niche makes you stuck a lot of times because usually you don't really kind of have a complete understanding of the world. Or sometimes if you have the complete understanding, you still don't feel like there is they have like everyone has a very hard time deciding and sticking to a niche, right? Every every 2 weeks you will feel, oh, is this niche right? Should I change my niche, right? Should I go into like should I just focus on leaders and entrepreneurs, or should I focus on corporate employees who are in managerial post, or should I focus on let's say businessmen who are traditional businessmen, right? I used to have this lot of struggle, right? Because I was having a marketing agency and I was trying to figure out, should I go with corporates or startups? In the startup, should I go with founders? In the founders, should I focus on the SaaS products or manufacturing products or food product companies? All of this kind of stuff was going on. When in the end, I realized that it's much easier and better to focus on narratives, and you will attract the right people through that narrative.
Yeah.
Okay. The narrative that I chose was, um, if you are finding it difficult to find your story and present your story to the world, this is the place to come. So
Mm.
if you want to articulate your story and make it like something so powerful and so magnetic that people just don't have an option but to come to you, then this is the place that you should come. Now, whether no matter what kind of business you are in,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
Now, what is the advantage of this? The advantage of this is only people who believe in the power of storytelling will come to me, and I
Mm.
don't have to convince them anymore that storytelling is important for you. You know what I used to do before that? I used to try to convince people that guys, storytelling is so important. You need to have a narrative that is powerful and blah blah. And it's like, yeah, but I'm a nut bolt company. Why should I care? Right? I'm like, yeah, that's true. And why am I even trying to pitch you? That's what my question was to myself. And then I realized, okay, I just have to talk about what I stand for, and the right people start coming. Now, this wouldn't have worked before the internet.
Mm.
It would have been slightly more difficult to work. But because of the internet and the algorithms, it has become easier to choose a narrative rather than a niche.
Mm.
Why did you need a niche before? Is because you have to know who you are talking to and target them in a smaller space, so that your efficiency of marketing is higher, so that you can reach those people
Mm.
with very high efficiency, and you don't have to spend a lot in marketing. And that's why you need to know your niche. It was required at a certain point.
Mm.
With the internet algorithms, you can choose a narrative and still find the niche will find you. That's how it works,
Mhm.
right? When
Yeah.
you choose a narrative, niche will find you.
I
The,
think,
the niche
yeah.
forms around you. Yeah.
Mm. So a few years, 2 years ago, I think I used to run away from many coaches because they always used to tell me niche out, niche out. And I was not the kind who can be put in a box and say, I couldn't stay there just niching out on one thing because I knew I could help much more. So this is really very, choosing the narrative is something which is
Yeah,
very
because
professional.
see,
Yeah.
exactly. Because see, in the marketing world, when I used to run my agency, the other narrative was everything is data oriented.
Yeah.
Data, everything. Like we look at your data, we figure out what is the most, profitable area, and we will target it and we'll scale it. And I was like, yeah, but how did you get the first set of data in the first place? Like, how did you make that decision when you never had data?
Mm.
You had to had a good story in the place, right? With zero data, and only then you could do this efficiency. So data is only incremental. It does not give like magnitude, order of magnitude improvement in your sales. So I started understanding the nuances of how people were positioning themselves in the market, and
Mm.
how I saw is the most important thing. And I felt it was creating a narrative for a brand. And I just extremely doubled down on that and just focused on that. And I said, this is the only thing I care about. This is the only thing I stand for. If you are the kind of founder who believes in narratives, then come to me. Then corporates started coming to me, startups started coming to me, individual coaches and consultants started coming to me.
Mhm.
And all of them, I took them through the same process, because the process of figuring out a narrative is not very different.
Yeah.
Regardless of which industry you are from, which niche you are from, it does not matter, because human behavior does not change,
Yeah.
right? And when the human behavior is consistent, uh, everything becomes kind of much easy for me, much predictable for me.
Yeah. So
So
it's
that's why I
basically working on
narrative.
the psychology.
Yes, I mean,
Yeah.
the psychology works itself out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we think that people are different, but trust me, people here and in China and Japan and US and Canada are exactly the same. There is not a lot of difference. Like 20-30% cultural nuances here and there,
Mm-hmm.
70-80% doesn't change.
Yeah.
Do they feel happy? Yes. Do we feel happy? Yes. Right? Do they feel sad? Yes. Do we feel sad? Okay. Even when you laugh, the muscles in your face that I used are exactly the same muscles that an American's like facial muscles are used to smile and laugh. Is the exactly what the Chinese uses? Is exactly what the Japanese uses.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain very fundamental human behavioral aspects that are so consistent throughout the human species that you don't have to even worry about, you know, thinking that it's different. Like every niche is different, every niche is, it's not. As long
Hmm.
as your niche is made of humans, you have to choose a narrative, not a niche. The niche will find you.
Wow, this is great. And another question to you is, how can therapists and coaches build trust and credibility online without sounding very salesy? Uh,
Yeah,
that is something that.
it's very simple. You give them value, give them results for free.
Hmm.
Every coach guards their secrets as if, if they give it up, they will not find anything else to sell. If this is what I give for free, what will they buy? What will they pay for? But trust me, even if you give everything for free, people don't know how to take action. Like, people need to have that accountability to take action.
Yeah.
You will find it very counterintuitive. When you give away everything that you know, more people will buy from you the
Hmm.
same thing that you gave away for free.
Yeah.
It is shocking, I know, but this is like a big paradigm shift. Until you don't make this shift, you won't build reputation.
Yeah. Because they need
Best way
some
to build.
kind of hand holding, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Exactly. See, I'll tell you everything I told you. I gave you the four questions, right?
Yeah.
The first question is, what is your leverage?
Mm-hmm.
Second is, who do you care about? What is the crisis they are in? And what is the crown state you would like them to be in? Four
Yeah.
questions, right?
Mm. Mm.
I will guarantee you,
Mm.
hardly 1% of people who are watching this podcast is going to apply these questions. The 99% of people will just listen to it and think, oh, this is so obvious. What is there to think about it? And ignore.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
And the same people will also buy when you kind of sell a course where you walk them through it. Why? Because telling them what to do is not enough.
Mm.
Helping them remove all the obstacles that is stopping them from doing it is what they pay for.
Mm.
When I ask someone to think about, okay, tell me what's your leverage, they
Mm.
are going to go blank.
Absolutely.
Even
Yeah.
when I tell you, even when I tell you how to think about it, you will still go blank. So what I have to do is I have to, talk to you one on one and figure out what is stopping you from thinking about this. And that
Yeah.
is going to create a lot of value for you,
Yeah.
right? But at least when they pay you and they come to you, they know exactly what they are getting into. So you're not even trying to justify yourself. You're not even, I never sell my stuff, my coaching, my consulting, I never try to sell it. It's like,
Mm.
you already know how I think, you already know the process I'm going to take you through.
Yeah.
You decide if you want to come. In fact, you tell me, why should I be, doing it? Like, why should I be coaching you? You have to sell yourself to me. That is how the approach should be. And when you build your reputation by giving a lot of value, you stop selling, your customers start selling themselves to you.
Mm. Mm.
That happens. You have seen me, like, it happens with me. It has happened, like, we see Guruji, right? It happens with Guruji.
Mm.
Guruji never tries to go and convince someone to come and do. People try to convince Guruji to teach them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So
So it
value.
always happens because you give so much value for free,
Yeah.
and also give it in a way that they have to get a result if they follow what you're saying.
Yeah.
Don't be cryptic. Don't say, like, give half information and say baki half आप मेरे से आ जाओ and then I'll charge you and then you no. Don't do that. Give everything away as
Mm.
much as you can. Let them get results.
Mm.
Create a lot of gratitude in their heart for you. And then when you launch a product, I promise they will buy from you.
Mm.
Okay. There is another secret here. Okay.
Mhm.
When you give away everything that you know, more comes to you. More knowledge comes to you.
Yeah.
There's something supernatural about this, something very spiritual about this. But until you don't give away the knowledge you already have, you will not gain more knowledge. Trust me.
Mhm.
You have to be like a flowing river. All the knowledge should flow out of you like water, like river. And when it goes out, all the stagnation goes and life starts. Life is around the river, right?
Mm.
There is more life in the river and around river than it's in a pond or around a pond. When you
Mm.
keep the knowledge around yourself, you're like a pond where the water is just stagnant in one place with a lot of disease and a lot of stuff that is also unwanted. It's
Mm,
like you holding on to your knowledge so hard that you start rotting from inside intellectually.
mm,
But when you allow your knowledge to flow away to the world, it creates a lot of vacuum within you so that new knowledge starts coming in.
mm,
So give it away. Give away as much as you can. Let people get results from your free stuff. Generate a lot of reputation, lot of gratitude, and then launch it and let them tell you why you should hire them, or you should make them your customers.
So it applies to both one-on-one sessions as well as group trainings, is this one, right?
Any offer you have doesn't matter.
Yeah. So what
Your job,
platforms?
even if it is one on one, right? Your job gets very easy because now they know everything that you teach.
Yes.
Don't have to spend time in teaching all of that same stuff again. Yeah,
Yes.
please continue. You had another question.
So what platforms do you recommend the therapists or coaches start building their presence on, and why? Yeah.
YouTube or Instagram. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Different platforms work for different people. You will be surprised, but my Instagram never gets as much impression as my YouTube long
Okay.
form. Okay. Most people struggle with long form YouTube. For me, it's not that difficult.
Mm.
Long form YouTube is much easier for me.
Mm.
Right. But experiment on both.
Mm.
Okay. Make 10 reels for Instagram, 10 long form videos on YouTube. See what is really working for you and go with it.
Yeah. So there was a point of time when they would say, Facebook and do Meta and do all those ads and things like that. So I really don't know whether Facebook is as relevant as Instagram now. Or, I mean, like,
It is. It
effect.
is.
It is? Okay.
It is very relevant. Yes. It does bring you a lot of very good customers.
Mm-hmm.
But if you publish on Instagram, there is an automatic setting to publish it on Facebook, right?
Correct.
But I would say whenever you're publishing, focus on a single platform and crack that platform.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Every platform behaves slightly differently. What works on one platform may not necessarily always work on others. So like in the early days, when you just focus on one platform, you also get better at understanding the psychology of people on that platform and what is working, what is not working. And you start creating those reels and you get better at your skill. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't really lose your energy in all these different uh, questions like, oh, Instagram is getting a good result, but YouTube is not. So what can I do on YouTube? So instead of building what is working, you start focusing on what is not working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's a distraction for your business. So take one, figure out what is working, crack it, scale it, go to 50,000, 100,000 followers, and then launch another platform
Mm.
when you have that much reputation on one place.
So social media can feel a little bit overwhelming. So how can therapists manage their time and energy while being consistent with their content?
So tell me what is overwhelming about it. So I'll tell you.
In the sense, taking care of the business as well as being there constantly on, the platforms, balancing both
Mhm.
in the sense.
Okay. First, turn off all the notifications from your social media.
Mm-hmm.
When you're becoming a creator, you should not be having any notification coming and pulling your attention.
Mm.
Okay. Second is give yourself block creative time of your day. For me, it is in the morning until 1 o'clock. Until 1 o'clock, I don't take calls usually
Okay.
until it is very urgent. Uh, I try to create.
Mm.
Either it is writing a script, contemplating on a new idea, developing that idea, or recording a video, or editing a video, or replying to people in the community. Like all of this engagement and creation work, I do it in that creative time. Now,
Mm.
I have given more time to myself because uh, it has a direct impact on my business. If I create more, if I give more value, then it will bring more business to me. It will create more gratitude
Mm.
for me. So have that creative time. Usually 1 hour a day is enough.
Mhm.
Okay. Don't like stop consuming all the reels. Stop consuming all kinds of social media.
Mm.
Do a dopamine detox.
Mm.
Why? Because you will fall into this trap of research and feel that I'm learning by watching social media. You
Mm.
won't learn. I promise you that, because you have been watching social media for, I don't know, like 5 years, 10 years now. That's enough research now. It's time to create. And the only way you can learn how to create content is by creating content. There is no other way. Okay.
Mm.
So stop watching all social media. This is dopamine detox.
Mm.
Every time you watch a reel, you are using your creative energy. Imagine there is a limited number of coins in your body for creativity that you're going to utilize. Every time you watch it, you are like you're spending one coin on it.
Mm.
And every time you create, you are earning one coin. Okay, so decide if you want to spend a coin of your creativity or earn the coin of your creativity.
Mm.
Stop consuming all kinds of content. Turn off all the notifications. Block a creative time of the day, and then give that time to either do one of these three actions: to create, to publish, or to engage.
Mm.
That's all.
Awesome. This is a great tip. I think everybody should make a note of this. Don't waste your energy on consuming too much of content on social
Yeah.
media. Yeah.
You will
So,
get creatively constipated. I call it creative constipation.
yeah.
Right. So it's like you're consuming a lot, but you're not creating. Like creating is again putting things out of your system. You'll
Mm.
feel very different. It's a spiritual practice. Creating is a spiritual practice. It is not just I'm doing it for business. No, don't look at it that way.
Mm. So this was great. And what is the final takeaway that you want to give to the therapists, coaches, or healer?
Hmm. Ichha Kriya Gyan. That's my final thing, which is follow this process when you're creating content, which is Ichha Kriya Gyan. Ichha is the purpose, Kriya is action, and Gyan is knowledge. Have a purpose on why you're doing, very clear purpose. Why are you doing what you're doing? If your purpose is not clear, then don't get into creating content yet. Uh, Give that time, 1 hour of time that you have blocked yourself for, to figure out that purpose. Then Kriya. Kriya is start creating, taking action. Like either create, like turn on a selfie video, speak on camera, or write a script,
Mm.
or publish it on YouTube and figure out how to write the title and thumbnail and description, or engage with people on social media. By people, I mean people who comment on your content, not you going and commenting on other people's content. Don't get into that right now. So do the action. When you do it, you will develop the knowledge by doing it. That is the GAN that we are talking about. Okay.
Mm.
The knowledge that you get from creating content is a very different quality of knowledge. Nothing can beat that knowledge. Everything that I'm telling you right now, I have written it down somewhere while I was contemplating, or I have created a video about it, or I have thought about it, or I have put it in my notes, Google Notes. Something, I have created something around it for sure. I may have published or not published yet, but I have given that time to actually take action and create it. And that generated a lot of knowledge. So you have your own GPT here, right? So if you want to use this GPT, your GPT, then you have to give it the right prompts, which is ask the right questions to yourself, start creating. And the knowledge that will generate out of that, you will see it will transform you, it will transform your audience, it will make you feel happy and light. You build a lot of reputation, you will make a lot of money, everything will work out for you.
Mm.
It's the most symbiotic action that you can do. Creating content is the most high leverage activity.
Mm.
It is a win-win-win for everyone, including you,
Yeah.
when you create content.
Mhm. So this was lovely. Thank you for this wonderful takeaway. It was really valuable and it was magnetic also. So Icha Kriya Gyan is something that all of us should make note of. And thank you for sparing so much of time, throwing so much of light, helping people to create magnetic content. Well, I would like to tell my viewers today that if you want to get in touch with Prathamesh. He has the Magnetic Creators Club. So you can join it, and there's a lot of value. You don't have to create everything all alone and feel lonely. You'll get a lot of support, not just from Prathamesh, but from the entire tribe. So the link will be dropped in the description below. So I thank you, Prathamesh, for being so helpful today and sharing so much of value. Thank you so much.
But thank you, Suchita. It was great speaking to you. It's always fun to speak with you.
Thank you.